Hi friends, good morning. So today I wanted to share with you the bows that I make out of epoxy. So when I was doing the video on my different molds, and if you haven't seen that, I'll link it, I showed these little templates that I use. So these templates, I make them using my Cricut, and I use a folder material. So this is what I use. So I showed this when I did my video on the different products from Dollar Tree that I use, and I showed these folders. Now it has to be these, it doesn't have to necessarily be these particular folders, but it has to be this thin, shiny plastic material. And I buy this little 2-pack. Of course, they're great for using as a folder, but I like to use them as templates. So I cut it a piece, and then I put it on my Cricut and put in a bow template and cut it out. So these are what I use, and I have a bunch of them that I like to use. And then I make these bows. And of course I have the video attached to show you how I make them. And then in the end, you can put them on ponytails or barrettes. Now I was out of barrettes right now, so I don't have any barrettes to show you. So I did 2 on ponytails, and I did 1 on a bobby pin. But you can see these come out so absolutely darling. Now I put this little flower embellishment in the center of them. I do different things. Sometimes I put a little jewel in there. I have done like a little shrinky dink with a picture of something that like someone, you know, wanted for their little one. The one that I did was Peppa Pig, and I used a Peppa Pig tattoo, put it on a shrinky dink, shrunk it, and then put that in the center of it. There's so many, you know, different things that you can do. The sky's the limit. But these are really cute. So I did also do the comb. Now it's not hard yet because I used the little leftover material that I had, and then the leftover epoxy, and then I had to put epoxy over top of it to finish it up. So it's not hard yet, so I have to go in and, you know, do my edges, of course. But I just want to show you this because this would be really cute, like for somebody who has, you know, a new little girl, or, you know, like a little toddler present. You could do a comb with their little name in it and do some bows. So I do different size bows. I have, you know, some smaller templates that I use for making bows for littler kids, and you can put them on, you know, the stretchy headband material as well. But, you know, just some ideas so you can do like an actual gift set. Now I do have to go in and, you know, clean this up a little bit. It is a good idea, like you can do, you know, just a cute little gift set. All right, so but what we're talking about are the bows. And now, so these little embellishments in the center are put on using super glue. Now, a couple things, and this part I didn't show you when I was doing the video. So I just use super glue for this. Now you can super glue on your barrettes, your bobby pins. I will tell you, super glue does not work for rubber bands. What I use is, I myself use UV resin, and I put these things on using UV resin. But the other thing is, what I also like to do, if I don't want to have to use UV resin, if I know that I'm going to like make it a rubber band, I will put the rubber band on it when I'm, you know, wrapping it and putting the clip. And then that way it's already stuck on. And that's the best way to do the rubber band. You can do it with the UV resin. You know, it works just fine, obviously. But the best way for a rubber band to stay on is to put it on when you fold up the bow. And if you watch the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. But these are just really, really super cute. And they turn out adorable. You can use them on packages, you know, all different things. So, all right, listen, I hope that you liked the video. I hope it was helpful. And I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day, friends. Thanks. Bye. All right, friends. So, what I have is my coffee, important. So this is my little mat I got on Amazon. And this little mat, you can see it's got these raised pieces. So I use this when I am like topping off anything with epoxy or doing these bows when I'm doming things, because these raised pieces allow the epoxy to fall down underneath, and then we don't have to worry, okay? So I have my epoxy here. Now, I let my epoxy sit for about 10 minutes because I don't want it to be super thin. You know, I want to be able to still pour it, but I don't want it to be super thin. Now, this spoon, this is from that set of baby spoons I showed you at the Dollar Tree. I don't know that I would necessarily, they say PBA free. I don't know that I personally would use them to feed my baby. I get sort of weird about, you know, that kind of products, but these are great for epoxy. And then I use a baby wipe and wipe them off afterwards so that I can keep using them. And then the other thing I'll show you is, so this is the times that I showed you that I use these little containers. So these containers are great when you are in a place where you just want to do small amounts of epoxy, and they're so smushy, it's easy to get the epoxy out. Now this one, this is my thinner part. I think that's part B, but I don't know why, but it stains this. And this is very old too. So my epoxy is not yellow. It's just that the container gets stained. And I don't know if that's this particular part of epoxy being outside. But yeah. But the epoxy is clear inside it. All right. So I have my epoxy mixed. I do have some little micro bubbles in here. I'm going to put glitter, of course, in it, but then I'll also spray it with alcohol to get rid of any. Now, the glitter that I'm going to use, this is just a glitter mix. And it's just all kinds of glitters that, you know, where I had residual on my paper. So I, you know, saved it all together, and I just kind of mix it and make a mix. So this is dump glitter. Now you don't want your glitter to be too thick inside your epoxy. You want it to be enough to give the coverage that you want, but the thing with this one is that you're not going to be putting epoxy on additionally. So I like to set these diagonal. I just feel like they sit better. And then I just go on and put my epoxy. And I want enough to cover the whole thing. And I do know that, you know, anything that's left will kind of float down but I also don't want, you know, to overdo the epoxy. Because remember, this epoxy is self-leveling, so it is going to move a little bit. So a lot of times I don't go initially all the way to the edges. After a few minutes, if I look at it and find that I need to, then I'll go back and add more, but I generally don't. And I want my center, I don't care if it flows off, I want my center to be nice and sturdy. You can see it's already flowing to the edges there. I pulled out a comb, and I realized when I was doing my showing the molds, I've got a pack, like I've got another container with molds somewhere, and I need to figure out where it is because I have a bunch more notebook molds. Of course, the mold that I did with you guys for the clipboard wasn't in there. I've got some more molds for combs. Just a couple other molds that I'm like, I want to eventually, you know, do them. I need to find them. So make sure your stuff is sitting up nice and even. And you can see this one is already, you know, moving. So in a minute, if I need to, I'll go back and add a little to that edge, but I'm going to give it a chance to do it on its own first. Oh, but the reason I said that about the molds is because I did grab that comb mold. So I figure if I have anything extra, I'll put it in, because even if it's not enough to cover the whole thing, it will, you know, be enough to put some color into it, and then I could do clear over it. And then these will sit for generally about 10 to 12 hours. I sort of feel them to see how they feel. I want them to be sturdy, but I want them to still be sticky. And I want them to be pliable. So this is what I mean, like let it smooth itself and then I'll go back and add. Because again, I don't want it too heavy, but I want everything covered. And I want, you know, it to be a nice, decent bow, of course. That one's going to drip over, which is fine. I do like my tabs, though, to be nice and sturdy. Scott just woke up. That's funny. He doesn't even realize I'm in here. He probably thinks I'm on the back porch. So as you can see, these little pieces that are falling over, that's why it's important to have this raised one, because they're going to just fall into those crevices and they're not going to attach to your piece. So you're still going to have a nice pretty piece when it's all said and done. I love making these. They're so much fun. And the nice thing about this, you know, like I said, it's made with just the folder material. Let's see. Now this will definitely have to have more epoxy put in it. So I have another project I'm going to be doing here in a little bit. So when I do that one, I will just make some extra to give this. But this way it has some color.
Driveway's still sticky.
Oh, it's still sticky?
Yeah, so you're going to have to like go out to the garage and there's like one little spot where you can hop over to the grass.
Okay. I'm filming right now.
Huh?
I'm filming right now.
That's all right.
No, you're okay. So Scott actually did this epoxy paint in the garage, and then also the one thing when we built our house, they didn't do a good job with the cement in the driveway, and we've had so much problems with the cement and you know how it looks, and also it kind of cracking. So I think eventually we're probably just gonna have it taken up and have pavers put down. But you know, until we can do that, he's been constantly having to paint it and make it look good. But since that epoxy turned out so good in the garage, he's decided, you know, to do it on the driveway. So that's why it's still wet. He did it last night. All right, friends. So it has been about, let me just move this comb out of the way. It's not done. It has been about 8 hours, I want to say. So here these are. So let's see how they look. So I'm just going to pick them up off of here so you can see all of my stuff kind of extras drained down into there. So this is just little strips of silicone. It's from a silicone mat that I've cut strips to use for different things. Now, before I cut those, I was just using a piece of the plastic folder to go over it. And then I have these little tiny clothespins from Dollar Tree. So now what I'm gonna do is I don't have my glasses on. I probably should, but I don't. So it's hard for me to see. So I'm just going to separate the epoxy from the folder. It's just a matter of getting my hands on it. Let me get a little pen. I might need to put my glasses on. And once you get it started, it's super easy. It's just getting a hold of it. All right, there we go. So you can see this just pulls off like this, right? And then this is what you're left with. Now I fold it in this way because I want that shinier side to be what's up. So then you just fold in all your tabs, and then I like to just take this little piece here and I wrap it around and then put this little pin on it. And then just set it like this and kind of make sure I have it how I'd like it to be. And then let it dry the rest of the way. All right, so we'll do these ones here. So same thing, and then of course I just, you know, reuse those. So again, I'm gonna put the little dot to the dot and take a piece of that and then just clip it together and set it up. So that's why I, you know, like for the dots to be substantial when I'm making it, because they're gonna, you know, hold it together. And we do this at this point because this way, you know, it's going to dry, finish drying, and it will stay together. And you don't have to do any gluing or anything. All right. All right, so there's that. So we're just going to leave it. And my comb, I came in and added some more epoxy to it. We'll see how it looks in the morning as well. So I'm just going to let these dry overnight. And then we'll come back in the morning and look at them. All right. All right, so we're back. And it is morning. I just let these sit overnight. So we'll take our clips off. And there you go. So here are our bows. Now at this point, if you would like to put a jewel in the center, you can, or if you have any other like little embellishment you'd like to put in the center, you can. I have sometimes, you know, used material and went around the center and then put like the little feet coming out. Sometimes I do, you know, the feet with epoxy, but I personally like just the bow. That's just my own preference, but you can do it however it works for you. And there's that one. And there's that one. And then, so I just put a little bit of super glue. If I'm going to put a jewel, I'll put a little super glue and put the jewel. And then I'll put a ponytail or a barrette or a bobby pin, you know, whatever it is that I'm going to use it for. And those are so cute. They come out super adorable. And they're fun. So the other thing is to, like, you can do these in clear and then do like little tiny stickers of you know, whatever it is that you would like to have the bow in, you know, if you want it to be like Paw Patrol or something like that. I've done that before as well. So very cute. And then I just keep my little clips in here along with these little pieces so that I don't lose them. And it's as simple as that. Do you guys want to take the comb apart and see how it looks? All right, so let's see where I went in and put extra stuff. I'm gonna have to clean it up. So these ends are good. Oh, they need to sit for a while for sure. But while it's soft, I need to go in and clean up between the comb, like just way up here. So I'll do that before I, you know, film the video intro. But yeah, that's actually really cute. So this would be cute to, give as a set, like a little comb and then matching bows, right? That would be cute. All right, friends. Well, listen, I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. And, please, if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Comments and thumbs up help the algorithm so that, maybe my videos will get pushed out. It's, definitely not all about getting views, but since I'm doing it, I'd like to get views. That would be good. All right. Thanks, friends. We'll see you later. Bye.